Hello and welcome back to the Mukbang Entertainment Headquarters. I'm your host, Jessica Marie, and today we are eating some catfish and some fries, some fish and chips. I cooked this up today. It took a long time. I was ripping and running, taking care of my 5-month-old, so I was busy. But I'm here. I had to wait till he went to sleep. So let's get into what it is we do here. If you're new, what it is I do here is that I review movies, TV shows, all different forms of entertainment, and talk about it, review it. We eat food together and just enjoy ourselves. So without further ado, I'm drinking me another it's orange vanilla Coke. I got me some red hot sauce and some lemons and some tartar sauce, and we're gonna get into it. So let's first pour the drink. Okay. That looks really good. I forgot my straw today, you guys. So we'll see how this goes. So the movie we're going to be reviewing today is called Polaroid, and it's right now trending on Netflix, and it's PG-13. So let's get into it. Let's get into this food. Let me try some of this catfish. Very good. The fries are crunchy on the outside and soft on the inside, which is how I like them. So the movie starts off, there's these two teenage girls. They're in the attic and they're looking through this box, and it belongs to one of the girls' dead mother. So they're looking through some tartar sauce. So they're looking through the box and they're trying to just see certain things about the girl's mom. Just reminiscing. They stumble upon a camcorder. Not a camcorder, a camera. One of those old school ones, you know. So one of the girls is like, we should take a picture for some guy that the young girl likes. And so she's like, well, if I do, I want it to be unique. I want it to be special just for him. That's good. This hot sauce. So she decides, That's really good. She decides to take a picture with this Polaroid camera. And she poses in the ring and she takes a picture. Now, her friend had to go home, and so she was left at the house by herself. She started hearing noises. And she was like, first thinking it was her friend saying, you know every scary movie. Stop playing around. It's not funny. That kind of stuff. But it's not her friend, so she hears noise up in the attic where they were just at. And so she goes up there. And she hears noise, and she hears noises. Or movement. She sees movement in the attic. So she goes up there. And there's like this sheet somewhere in the attic, and that's where she sees the movement. And she goes towards it for whatever reason. When she moves the sheet aside, no one's there, of course. But something happens, like something pops out when she's done with that. After she closes it, like, okay, nothing's there. And so she's falling back out of the attic because the attic ladder, mind you, fell down. So she's like falling out of the attic. All these seeds. And it's good. But she's falling out of the attic. And the way she fell, she should have fell to the ground. But something's holding her by her legs, and she's dangling over the attic hole. And then she's yanked back up and thrown back down. She's killed. Then it zooms to this young girl, and it's picture day in high school. And she takes her picture. She doesn't seem eager about it, which I don't think I was ever eager for picture day either. When there was picture day. So she leaves from taking her picture. They ask her if she wants to take off her scarf. She's like, no. So she takes her picture, she leaves. And she goes to her antique store job. She works at an antique store. And a guy comes in. I guess it's her co-worker. I believe it was his uncle that owns the antique store, so she gets to work there. And he brings her this Polaroid camera that he said he bought from like a garage sale. This is the same Polaroid camera, mind you, in the beginning of the movie that these other two young girls had. So he gives it to her. She's hyped about it. She's like, oh, this is an antique camera. It's so amazing. It's so cool that you found this. How did you get this? Like, I guess it's a one of a kind. And He tells her, I got it from the garage sale. Do you like it? She loves it. And he tries to lean in and give her a kiss, and she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then she's like, okay, well, I have to go. And he's like, I don't want things to be awkward with us because I wasn't trying to offend you. But she leaves. She goes home. Her mom is in the midst of looking for her car keys because I guess she's going to be working like a double shift. And her daughter's like, the young girl who has the Polaroid camera, her name is Bird. And so Bird is like, really, Mom, again? And she's like, well, I have to do it. She said, but it won't be like this forever. She helps her mom find her keys. The mom is out the door. Then she's in her room with this camera. And she's like looking at it and she's fiddling with it. And she tries to take a picture of her dog. And her dog is like, no, thank you. Please do not take a picture of me. So right when she was trying to do that, her friend comes into her house. It's a girl. Her friend's like, why don't you come with me to this Halloween party? You're not doing anything. You're never doing anything. And, you can meet some people. And she's like, well, I don't fit in with everybody. They're going to think I'm weird. And she's like, just come. So she brings her a Halloween outfit. It's Little Red Riding Hood. And so she goes to the party. She jumps in the car with this couple, a guy and a girl. And, they start, I guess, fighting a little bit, but it really wasn't a fight. It was like a little fussing. And he was trying to smoke a joint in the car, and the girl was like, no, you can't do that, my dad will lose it. And so they get to the party. While at the party, this girl's trying to get her fortune. She's telling people's fortunes because I guess she's where did she say she was for Halloween? She's a fortune teller type person. And so that's what she said she's doing. Sorry, you guys, my son was crying, so I had to go and help him out. Excuse me. So, like I was saying, the fortune teller girl, Bird picks a card, and it basically symbolized, it looked like death to me. So a guy that she kind of has a crush on, he's at the party, and he says hey to her, and they're sitting down at the party having a little chit chat. Basically the couple that she had a ride with, they saw them and were like, oh, what are you guys doing over here? And they were like, nothing, just chilling. And they were all trying to take a picture together. And they were like, come on, Bird, you should take one with us, And she's like, I could take a picture with you guys with this camera that I have. And so they're like, okay. And they're like, well, do you want to be in it? And she was like, no, I'm better at taking the pictures. So she takes the picture. And the guy's like, next time you should be in the picture. And she's like, no, she has a crush on him, so anything he says is probably making her go to the moon. So, when we fast forward, we're at the party, and the police come and say, Bird, we need to talk to you. She's taken to the police station, and she's told that her friend in the antique store was killed. Now, prior to that, her friend was in the antique store. He was fiddling around with a projector, and he saw this figure. But when he went behind the projector and looked around, because he was ready to knock him out, nobody was there. And so he went back to doing what he was doing. And then some, like he was snatched up, and that was the end. So, fast forward at the party, she's taken by the police, and they're telling her your friend was killed. She's totally distraught. She doesn't know how it happened or why. And they're like, well, was he suicidal? Was there an issue with him? And she was like, no, he was fine. Nothing was wrong with him. So her mom comes and picks her up. Her mom's like, do you want to talk? And she's like, I don't know. I don't get why this happened. So basically, after that, the girl who was telling people's fortunes at the party, mind you, I forgot to say, she took Bird's camera and took a picture of herself, because she was like, oh, you're over here taking pictures and you can take one of me. And I'm like, who cares? When they depict high school movies sometimes, because this is like high school, I'm like, whose high school life is this? Because I don't know. It wasn't my life, and I wasn't no bully. I wasn't no tough girl. But I just never felt that existence. And I think, to be honest, there's always going to be a bully anywhere, in my opinion. There's always going to be a bully somewhere. There's going to it's going to be in elementary, it's going to be in middle school, high school, college, work, just going out, in public. You might encounter someone who has that bully mentality. I think the thing that helps people the most with bullying is to realize who you are, and you have to stand up for yourself. No one is going to truthfully respect you and cuddle you in this world. It's just not the kind of world we live in. We don't live in, that kind of world. So I think that's the best way to deal with a bully, is to stand up to them and to know who you are and to have confidence in yourself. Because if you're looking for social media, the government, your parents, teachers, whoever to do that for you, there's only so much they can do. They're only around you so much throughout the day. Eventually, at some point in your life, you are going to have to be independent. You're going to have to go out there and face the world. And those people aren't going to be there to hold your hand or to fight your battles. So it really is important, if you are out there dealing with bullying, to gain your confidence, to know who you are, know your self-worth, and to stand up for yourself. My mom and dad used to tell me, if someone is picking on you and trying to fight you, you fight them back. Even if you lose, you still fight them back, because they'll think twice of wanting to fight you again. Best believe. Bullies usually like people who just let them get away with what they do, who are just terrified of them. And there's no reason, especially when you're in school, there's no reason to be afraid of none of those kids. I mean, I know kids are a little different today than when I was younger, but to me, There's always been a bully. I've known bullies at school. They never bullied me. I had a few that tried, but that was quickly squashed. Let me just say. They're always going to try you. That's just what bullies do. So anyway, back to the story. I'm sorry, I just went on a tangent, but I know this bullying thing is really big nowadays. And I'm not saying it's right to be a bully. It's absolutely wrong. But it's more important to learn how to deal with a bully than to dwell on the fact that there is a bully and they're bullying somebody. Because that nature in people, there's always going to be someone out there like that. There's thousands of people, hundreds of thousands, millions of people that are that way. And that's just the way they are. Sometimes bullies get checked so much they stop being bullies. Sometimes that's what they need, a swift kick in the pants, as some people would say. So anyway, back to the movie. So the girl who was doing the mind reading, um, she passes away, and so Bird hears about this one too, and she's like, okay, it has something to do with this camera because in all the pictures that are taken, there's this like black figure in the background of every picture. And once that person dies, that black figure disappears from the picture and goes to the most current picture. So, which is good. So, she goes to school the next day and she gathers up all her friends, everybody that was at that party, mainly the people who took the pictures. So her girlfriend who came over her house, the guy who likes her, and then the couple. So she tells them what she thinks is going on, and they're like, "You're tripping, that's not true." And she's like, "No, it is true." And she breaks down and tells them about the figure and all that. And so the guy that's in the couple relationship, he says, well, let's just burn it. And so he starts burning it. And where he starts to burn the picture is where his girlfriend is. She's in that part of the picture where it's burning. And her arm catches fire. Then they're trying to put it out, but they can't. Then the friend who came over Bird's house, her hand starts catching fire. No, her head, like her head area. And so Bird takes the picture and pushes it out, stumps out the fire. And the fire stops on everybody. So they go to the hospital because the girlfriend who got her arm burnt up, I guess it was pretty bad, and so she's at the hospital. And it's so good. And they're still talking about it. And the boyfriend's like, "You need to fix this, Bird. It's your fault." So they leave there and they're investigating about this camera, about everything. So they find out that the camera, the creature attacks you when you're alone, when you're in the dark. So while they're investigating, they find this out. And so they try to call the girl in the hospital. And so they call her up and they say, "Hey, you shouldn't be alone. Hurry up and, get someone there with you." So she tries to ring for the nurse. No one's coming. So she gets up and she tries to walk away. And so after that, it looks like she might be getting attacked. The boyfriend, he's looking for a nurse for her, so he left her side after they said I love you, and he's looking for a nurse. When he gets back to the, my bad, you guys, today's just back. But when he gets back to the room in the hospital, he doesn't see his girlfriend. He sees a trail of blood, but he doesn't see her. And so when he finally does see her, she's hanging. And so after that, they're at the hospital and they're just in shock. They're crying. The boyfriend goes off on Bird and is like, this is your fault, blah blah blah, basically, you know. So Bird runs away and she's like, I'm sorry. She runs away and sits down in the hall in the hospital. And the guy that she likes, I think his name was Cody, I think, he goes to her and he says, are you okay? She's like, no. And she's saying, basically, this is my fault. He's right. It's always my fault. And then she tells the story of what happened with her father. And I guess her father was taking her to a slumber party, but on the way there, he wanted to show her something. And she was like, I don't care about what you want to show me. I want to get to the party. So when she did that, he turned the car around and was heading to the slumber party, and that's when the car accident happened with both of them in the car, but her father got killed. So that's why she's saying what she's saying. He's like, well, that wasn't your fault either. So he's like, if your father was here, he would tell you that. She's like, well, he would be trying to figure out why this is happening if he was here. So they started digging in the archives of the town, and they found out that the person who owned the camera was this man who was a photography teacher at the high school that she goes to. And he was killed by the police because he had kidnapped 4 kids and was torturing them and killing them in his house, and he took pictures of it, and the police killed him. So they go to the restaurant. Fast forward, they are all at the restaurant, including the boyfriend who just lost his girlfriend. They're all at the restaurant, and this is really good, but I am getting full. I've already had 2 big pieces of catfish. So the boyfriend at the restaurant, he starts going crazy when they're telling him all this information, and he grabs the camera, and everybody's like, don't take a picture of anybody. He's trying to take a picture of somebody. I'm like, you guys, it's always someone like that in a movie. I don't know why, but there is some lunatic who has this anger to... Anyway, so the camera gets tug of warred. Basically, they're tugging over the camera, and the boy that likes Bird, he takes it from, and a picture is taken accidentally of the guy who lost his girlfriend. And so after that, he was trying to attack someone again, and the girl who was Bird's friend, she takes her pencil and stabs him in the picture in his hand, and he stops and lets go of the camera. He's like, oh, my hand. And so he's trying to fight everybody, and then someone taps him on the shoulder and says, you know, you need to calm down, and he smacks them, and it was a police officer. So he's thrown into jail, and he was like, well, I'm sorry about what I said. He's saying this to Bird, and to just give you guys time to go find out what happened. So After that, they tell the police officer, the sheriff, they let him know, hey, um, this camera is what's doing the killing. It belongs to the serial killer from back in the day. This is his camera. You need to figure this out. And the guy's like, no, it's not. You guys need to stop. I know you're grieving, but excuse me, but this is not what's happening. And she's like, well, he used to live here, and the owner of the house still lives there. And he's like, don't ever go to that house. If I hear you going to that house, you're going to be in jail too. So they decide to go to the house anyway. So they go to the house and they meet this lady, who is the wife of the man who did all this killing. And she lets them in. And she's like, well, that's actually my daughter's camera. And so she lets them go and see her room. And there's a picture of her daughter in the bedroom. And they're like, oh, your daughter's very beautiful. And she said, yeah, she was beautiful. And then she tells them this story about 4 kids that basically tricked her into friendship, pretended they wanted to be her friend just to take her off somewhere and to take all these graphic, nude type, embarrassing pictures of her and then show everybody in school. And she was so distraught and stressed over that she killed herself. And then her dad went out to seek vengeance on the people who basically, I guess, bullied her into suicide. And so he killed everybody, but he said the mom let them know that one of them got away, and he's not going to probably be done until he's finished his whole mission. So they hear that and they're like, okay. So they go on a mission. They go to the high school and they go on a mission to find out who was this boy who got away, because the mom had a picture of him and she gave it to him. So so they go to school. They're searching all through the yearbooks based on the year and all that, and they find the picture, and the picture happens to be the sheriff who told them not to go to the house. Wait 1 second, you guys. Okay, I think we're good. So I'm gonna try to hurry up and get this video done because my son is acting up right now. So basically, they go to the school. They find out that it's the sheriff who was the one that escaped, and the sheriff, he goes there and he finds them there, and he's like, they basically confront him and tell him what they think, and they say, well, we have to take a picture of you because you're the last link and this is why this is happening to us. And he said, that lady is crazy. He said, I'm sure she went and told you that it was us that bullied their daughter into her killing herself. And they said what really was going on, the sheriff let them know that what was really happening back then was the father was basically having sex with his daughter, and the girl let him know about it, and he was taking pictures and stuff of her, and the young lady let those 4 kids know about it, and they went to her house trying to say, hey, you know, come with us and we can help you and get you away from him. And he found out that these 4 kids were trying to do that, and so he captured them and tortured them and killed them. And the sheriff said, luckily the police came, and that's how I got away. He said, other than that, I would have been dead with the other kids. He said, that's what really happened. He said, the mom is sick, and she just stood by and let her husband do this to her daughter. That story actually sounds more believable to me than anything else. So they took a picture of the sheriff, and the sheriff got killed because the creature came, grabbed the picture of the sheriff because it fell to the ground. The creature grabbed the picture, ripped it in half, and the sheriff's body just ripped in half from the top down. So after that, though, the ghost creature went back to attacking them. And so the girl and the guy, the girl bird and her friend, her girlfriend, they run into the showers to get away from this creature. And so they turn on the steam, and so I'm sorry guys, he was crying again. So they turn on the steam in the shower room, which prevents him from coming, I guess because they said that the creature operates like film, like a roll of film would operate. You can't have it too hot, too much light, and all that. So she brings her friend in there because her friend got stabbed by the creature, and so they're running away. And so it's so hard to eat when you have a child sometimes. So she's like, I gotta go find Cody. I think that's his name. So she's out there. She finds Cody and she's like, we have to get the camera back. And so she thinks she knows how to stop the creature. So they grab the camera that was left in the hallway after the sheriff was killed, and she runs to the basement where the photography room is. And when she's in there, the creature, of course, he comes in there. He follows her and he tries to attack her. And he's choking her. He's got her up in the air, and she has the camera in her hand, and she takes a picture of him. And when she does that, he still tries to come after her, and she crumbles up the picture in her hand. Now, mind you, there's a piece of her finger in the picture, like three frontal parts of her finger is in the picture. So she's crumbling it, and she's in pain too. But she has to do it because this creature is getting all balled up because she's crumbling the photo. And so after that, though, he still tries to come after her, all crinkly and messed up. And so she lights the picture on fire, and the creature disappears, and he's gone. She goes back out of the photography room. She finds her friends. They all leave, and they're like, is it over? And she's like, yeah, I think so. And so her friend goes to the hospital. And they're like, well, what about you? You were injured too. And she was like, yeah, but I have something else I have to do. So she goes to the beach, and she throws the camera deep into the ocean. And that's how the movie ends. Now, this movie is trending right now on Netflix. To me, this movie is more of a teeny bopper type film, like, what is that movie that came out back in my day when I was a teen? I think it was called Final Destination. It kind of had that vibe to it. I would say possibly not as good as Final Destination, to be honest, but the same type of vibe. I would give this film, from a scale of 1 to 10, a 6. I gave it a try because it was trending, and so I said, well, why not? I'll try it. It was okay. Most of it, for the most part, was very predictable. I'm a person that watches a lot of scary movies and stuff like that, so usually you can predict what's going down. To me, it wasn't really scary. So if you're a person that is a little scared of scary movies, this to me is not scary. It's not. But that's from a person who watches a lot of that type of stuff. So maybe what's not scary to me might be scary to you, but really, it wasn't scary. So other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I ate, what, 3.5 pieces of catfish, some fries, and I'm very, very full. Very full, you guys. Whew, that tastes good. So I hope you guys had a good day. I hope you guys were eating with me. And I hope you enjoyed this review. This movie was okay, but like I said, it's trending right now on Netflix, so a lot of people are watching it, and it must be good to a lot of people. Maybe it's teenagers, I don't know. But other than that, I hope you guys have a good one. Let me do my little touch up, because you know you have to do that when you leave the restaurant. So, other than that, I hope you guys have a good one. Stay safe and stay blessed. And have a good day, you guys. I hope to see you again. See you tomorrow. Bye.